Okay, let's see if YouTube's working today for live streaming. Let's go like this, a better view. All right. Hi, everybody. Dr. Rafich here, Vet Triage. It is early, 7:57 a.m. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, so it should be 8:57 a.m. East Coast time. And I think the live stream just restarted. I can't tell. Stupid YouTube. Oh my God. I don't know why he does this. Anyway, Dr. Rafich here, Vet Triage. 7:58 a.m. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri for a conference, and should be almost 10 a.m. for New York time, East Coast time, and 7 a.m. for almost 7 a.m. for Pacific time. So anyway, let's talk about eye boogers in dogs. Now, I'm not an ophthalmologist, although I don't know if they even see these types of cases or get these inquiries, because eye boogers are just kind of an expected part of life for people and for animals. But, I'm sure people do wonder about it. I'm sure general practitioners get lots of questions about it. So anyway, let's just talk about it and see. And by the way, I have a vet triage outfit because we are exhibiting today at the IVEX conference, which is the Emergency and Critical Care Conference in St. Louis. So anyway, to talk about eye boogers, talk about normal tear production in the eye. I'm not going to go into too much academic details, but essentially the tears are made up of three layers that cover the cornea, which is the clear part of the eye. And then whenever we blink, those tears get distributed evenly around over the cornea, helps maintain corneal hydration. The cornea, so again, the clear part is clear because it does not have any blood vessels or lymphatics. And so it has to get its nutrition other ways. And so that's one way that it can get its nutrition. And that's a normal process. The tears of the eye, the three layers that make up the tears, are produced by different glands in the eye, right? And each glands have their own purpose. So if one gland gets messed up, then you can have abnormal tear production. That's one of the reasons why dogs get dry eye, is because they're having an immune disease to the glands that make some of these tear layers. Anyway, so the glands are required to make the tears. The blinking covers the cornea to hydrate it, and then the tears have to go somewhere. And so normally they go down the medial canthus, which is the inside part of both eyes. There's an opening there, and that opening leads to the nasolacrimal duct, which is a tube, essentially, that goes from the medial canthus into the nasal cavity. That's why if you cry, you also have boogers out of your nose, because that's where tears go. That's where they get drained normally. And so if you ever have a pet that receives fluorescein staining at the vet, so that green chemical they put in the dog's eyes to look for ulcers or abrasions on the cornea, you'll see the green stuff come out the nose, because that's the normal way that the tears are eliminated by the eye. So that's the normal cycle in a nutshell. Now, eye boogers, again, could be different things. And we're going to ignore the fact that maybe it's just part of life, and they just, they wake up and they have eye boogers like people do, and that's that. But when you're sleeping, you can't blink. And so, the tear production, the tears, the film, probably accumulates and causes eye boogers. I don't know with that, but the reason why I wanted to make this video, besides how common this was, is because a lot of these dogs go, I think, underdiagnosed with nasolacrimal duct abnormalities. So there could be various reasons why you might have what seems to be excessive or residual tear production. It could be that the glands are overactive, right? That can happen where, like, for example, if you have a pink eye, or you got debris in your eye, you have a contact lens that's irritating your eye's response to that, to protect itself, is to produce more tears, right? To wash away whatever the irritant is. So you could have that causing excessive tear production that can result in eye boogers. That could be it. Or you could have a dog that's got dry eye and who's not blinking effectively, or who's not producing good quality tears. For example, if you have a pug, they have the really bulgy eyes. Sometimes they get what's called exposure keratitis, which is inflammation of the cornea. That's keratitis. Exposure meaning that the eyeball is exposed to the environment. They can't close their eyelids fully because their eye is so bulgy, and because of that, you end up with a central area of the cornea that becomes pigmented over time. But the tear film is not covering that part, right? Because the blinking is ineffective to spread the tear around. So they end up with exposure keratitis, for example. But then the final reason for eye boogers would be an actual problem with the nasolacrimal duct. So if the duct itself is not normal and it's preventing normal flow of tears, then of course tears back up and they accumulate in the medial canthus of the eye. But what happens that's different in that scenario is that when the tear production accumulates in the medial canthus of the eye, bacteria that normally live on the eyelids find their way there and have a party with those tears, and and that's where you get that greenish, grayish, yellowish color to the eye boogers, typically because the bacteria are having a party. And so it's not an infection per se; it is an overgrowth of bacteria, but the dogs don't seem to care. It doesn't bother them. It doesn't cause like a strong immune response or anything like that. But that may be one of the more common reasons for booger formation, but we don't really diagnose it because it's first of all, only an ophthalmologist really is going to do that kind of testing, and second of all, what are you going to do about it anyway? You know, there are surgical reports of fixing these ducts, but in general, you're not going to be able to fix them, especially for really tiny dogs. And the problem is this is part of normal breeds. So if you have a breed that has a squished face, doesn't matter whether it's a pit bull or a pug or whatever, a bulldog, they're going to have abnormal nasolacrimal ducts because they have abnormal everything in their body. And so they're more prone to eye boogers. Now, why is that you might see them more in the morning outside the fact that you were sleeping before waking up to eye boogers? I don't really know. It varies why dogs get them at all. Some dogs don't get them. Some dogs get them constantly. You know, I don't know. That just random occurrences, I guess. But anyway, so no treatment really to be done, assuming that it's a nasolacrimal duct issue. However, you do want to get that flushed out to see what exactly is the diagnosis if the eye boogers are causing a problem. Otherwise, it's usually more of a kind of a gross sort of cute thing that dogs get, and we deal with it. So I hope that helps. Thanks for everybody who watches in the playback. It is, let's see, tomorrow is Monday, September 9th. I'll try to do another live stream tomorrow, and I hope everybody enjoys your Sunday. Talk to you soon. Bye.